Hey, friend. Welcome to the Hearts Hello Show. This is a space where we stop pretending everything is fine and start telling the truth about what it actually takes to grow. Because the reality is, life will stretch you. It will challenge your mindset, test your character, and reveal the places where what you say you believe and how you actually live don't always match. And that's where the real work begins. So here we talk about authenticity, faith, personal responsibility, relationships, and the internal alignment required to become who you were created to be. So wherever you are right now, take a breath, slow down, and let's have the conversation your heart has been waiting for. Hey. So you already know I've been doing what? Thinking. Absolutely. And if I'm being completely honest, you all, not only have I been thinking about what's getting ready to transpire for us and our journey in August, but I've been thinking about what I'm cooking for Thanksgiving. I've thought about what's going on in December. I've thought about where I want to travel to next year. Like my brain has gone all the way there. But again, as I've been thinking about August and planning and writing, I'm excited. But then I also caught myself because I realized that I was so focused on what was next that I never really stopped to ask what this month was trying to leave with me. And I know I can't be the only one. Like when we finally make it through something, we make it through a new month and we've had these epiphany moments and the light bulb has come on, we begin to ask ourselves, okay, what's next? But what if the better question is, what just happened to me? Not what happened around me, what happened in me. Because I had this feeling that if I rushed into August, that I might completely miss what July was trying to develop. Not what July was trying to do for me, what it was trying to do within me. And as I sat with that, something came up from work where it's performance review time for a lot of us. And one of the things that my supervisor shared with me was that she wanted me to use my voice more. Now, let me explain that because I think it's important. She wasn't saying that I wasn't speaking. Those are two different things. See, my review was strong. I'm doing my job. I'm contributing. She wasn't correcting poor performance. She was speaking to what she could already see in me. She was saying, Kiana, there are moments when your perspective needs to be heard, when your ideas, they add value. See, your voice changes the room and I need to hear more of it. Y'all, I've carried that with me ever since she brought it up because it made me wonder how many times has someone seen something in us before we've seen it in ourselves? Not because they were trying to make us into somebody different, but because they recognized there was still more of us available than we were allowing people to experience. And honestly, I think that's happened to all of us. See, sometimes we confuse doing well with giving our whole selves. Sometimes we think because we are showing up, we're showing up fully. And those aren't always the same things. So that conversation made me ask myself, where am I giving people a percentage of me when I have more to offer? Not because I'm trying to impress anyone, not because I need validation, but because if God placed something in me, why would I intentionally leave part of it on the table? And that's where the human compliance piece came back in for me. See, we spend so much time thinking compliance means just following those rules. But what if, on a human level, compliance is coming into agreement with who you were created to be? Not becoming someone else, not performing, not pretending, but simply more aligned with the person that God has been developing all along. And maybe sometimes we're not out of compliance because we're doing something wrong. Maybe we're out of compliance because we're withholding something right. And that thought challenged me. Because when I left that meeting, I decided I was going to use my voice more. But I also decided something else, that I wasn't going to limit that growth to work. Because if I'm speaking up is a characteristic that I need to develop, why in the world would I only practice it from 9 to 5? See, growth doesn't clock out. And I think sometimes that's where we get stuck. We think growth belongs to a place where we learned it. If I learned patience at work, then I'm patient at work. If I've learned boundaries in therapy, then I use them there. If I've learned communication in a relationship, then I only use it in that relationship. But growth doesn't work like that. See, growth says, wherever you go, I go too. So I started paying attention. Am I speaking up when something bothers me? Am I communicating my needs? Am I asking for clarity instead of making assumptions? Am I expressing appreciation when someone has impacted my life? And am I setting boundaries with kindness instead of resentment? Or have I gotten so comfortable giving people pieces of my voice instead of the fullness of it? And can I be honest? Like, that hasn't always been easy for me, because using your voice doesn't guarantee the conversation goes the way you hope. It doesn't even guarantee that people understand you. It doesn't even guarantee that they will agree or that they'll respond. But I've realized something, that peace doesn't come from controlling someone else's response. Peace comes from knowing that I was just faithful to my own voice. And that's been freeing. Then something else clicked, because all month we have been talking about doors. Yep, doors. Testing doors, trying handles, using discernment, recognizing distraction, closing doors that needed to be closed, walking away from the ones that were actually open. And then I realized, maybe the doors were never just about opportunities. Maybe every door was revealing something about us, where one door may have revealed fear, one revealed trust, one revealed patience, one revealed forgiveness, and one of my doors revealed that there was still more of me waiting to be expressed. Not a different me, not a louder me, just more of me. And then I had another thought. Maybe July didn't unlock my voice because I've always had a voice. Maybe July unlocked my permission to use it more. Sheesh. Yeah, I had to sit with that one for a second, because I wonder how many of us are praying for God to give us something we've already been given: confidence, wisdom, compassion, leadership, creativity, peace. Maybe He isn't trying to create it. Maybe He's inviting us to stop withholding it. And that's why the word Selah kept coming back to me. Pause, reflect, don't rush. Like, before we flip this calendar from July to August, before we ask God for something new, before we chase another opportunity, let's just pause long enough to ask a different question. Not, what do I want August to bring me? But what did July unlock in me? Don't answer it too quickly. Sit with it, because your answer may be the very thing you're supposed to carry into your next season. And as I kept thinking about it, I smiled, because August is the 8th month. And throughout scripture, 8 oftentimes represents a new beginning. Not because the number itself has power, but because it points to what comes after completion, a fresh start. And I thought, maybe the new beginning isn't even the month. Maybe the new beginning is us. Maybe July wasn't preparing another door. Maybe July was preparing the person who would eventually walk through it. And then it all came together for me, because when we spent this entire month talking about doors, like, next month we're going to talk about those keys. And I don't think it's by accident, because a key doesn't create what's behind the door. It just simply gives you access to something that was already there. And I wonder if that's true about us too. because maybe the keys we're about to pick up next month won't make us into someone new. Maybe they'll simply unlock more of who God has been developing along the way. So before we meet again, I want you to spend some time with one question. Not for me, for you. What did July unlock in me? Whatever your answer is, don't leave it behind. Carry it into August, because I have a feeling the key that you've been praying for may simply be permission to use what God has already placed inside of you. I'll see you next week. Before you go, sit with this for a moment. Growth doesn't happen because we heard something inspiring. Growth happens when we become honest enough to examine how we're actually showing up in our lives. So take what resonated with you today, reflect on it, and decide what alignment looks like for you. And if this conversation helped you see something differently, share the episode with someone who might need it too. And if you want to stay connected, you can always find me at the Heart's Hello. Until next time, friend, keep choosing truth, keep doing the work, and keep saying hello to your heart.